This was an explosive interview. It will upset you, anger you, disgust you. And brethren, here's what I suspect is going to happen. If it continues the way it is in Europe, with what the Muslims are doing, grooming gangs, is that what they're called? The people who are being oppressed, violated, and murdered, they're going to rise, and there's going to be violence in the streets. In fact, I actually feel it's coming, where the people are not going to tolerate what Muslims are doing anymore. They're going to explode. In fact, I even suspect we may have a crusade taking place. And if you doubt what I'm saying, you got to watch this interview. This poor man has spent the last several years in and out of jail. He is a testimony Jesus Christ is protecting him. Do you know what they try to do to this guy? BBC reporters. They contacted former employees of his, either blackmailed them or offered to pay them enormous money like 20,000 pounds to come on record accusing Tommy Robinson of sexual assault and harassment, to set him up with lies. The Lord Jesus intervened and exposed that agenda because one of the former employees who didn't like him saw what they were doing. She went to him. He gave her a hidden camera and got them on record admitting, don't worry, we will edit and make it seem like you're the victim. And he then confronted them with the evidence, the footage, the recording, and humiliated them. And he did a documentary to expose them. Do you know how many 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, in the thousands are being kidnapped, molested, raped, branded by Pakistani Muslims? And they first get them addicted to drugs. Then they gang rape them. And in one instance, they dismembered a young girl. In another instance, one of the Muslims took a hot iron and branded on her letter M, meaning possession of Muhammad. And they're getting away with it. And when they call the authorities, you know what the authorities say? Well, no, they're drug addicts. It's their fault. They turn a blind eye. So let's start playing clips, right? In fact, let's go to the 1 hour, 42-minute mark. Let me shock you. Now, watch what the Muslims are doing in these countries. They are sucking the welfare system. This is what they're doing. Wake up. The terrorists, not all the Muslims are terrorists. They don't know. But these leaders, listen, please.
My local MP, my local imam, has 14 children with 3 wives.
Did you hear it? 3 wives, 14 kids living off the benefit system. You're paying for it.
Who's this?
My local imam.
What's his name?
Kadir Bashk.
This guy here.
So I start my activism and I try telling the council and telling everyone, no, these guys are the bad guys. Yeah. He gets a seat in the Luton in Harmony program. Now, he's on the radio talking about me.
Listen.
Now I live in Luton. So I just walk into the radio station. You'll find this. Pink News run the story. So if you Google Pink News and his name, you'll find the story. He's on the radio. So I go walking in and the radio host is like, well, seeing as we're talking about Tommy Robinson and he is from Luton, he's just walked in. I said, yeah, I walked in. I want to ask Kadir a few questions. Let me sit down.
Good position. Now what?
So I sit down and I say, Kadir.
With him.
With him. And he's there. Because the journalist won't ask him the questions. Yeah. So I sit down and say, Kadir, you're part of the Luton in Harmony program. I'm the extremist, apparently, because I want to ban the niqab and Sharia law, and I'm deemed as the extremist, and he's deemed as the moderate imam. I said, in your ideal society, Kadir, in your ideal society, forget Britain, what you want for your society, what would happen to homosexuals?
Listen.
And he can't not answer. Yeah? So journalists just should ask them the questions in the right way. And he said, will there be punishment? I said, yeah, so what punishment would there be, Kadir? No, what punishment would there be? It's death. You're part of the Luton in Harmony program. Yes. You're the imam and you want death for the homosexual.
You see what the UK government's doing? Not only letting people like him have 3 wives, 14 kids, and suck up the benefit system. He doesn't work. They're actually going to him, recruiting him, including him in government positions. And Tommy Robinson, who's warning the UK, has been in jail for the last several years. He just said in an interview, I just came out. He goes, I got to be careful what I say, lest they throw me in jail again. Jesus is protecting him.
Now from this come out of my interview with him, just from asking him 1 or 2 questions.
You see that? This came out because he confronted him in a radio program, asked him the questions, whereas the person interviewing that imam didn't ask these questions. He had to go and ask the question, but he's been going to jail because of it. Now watch what they find out about him.
in response to that, because he's the head teacher of a school.
Head teacher of a
And I've been battling against this group for years, and just getting shut door in my face. So I'm in there. They then do an investigation into his mosque, and then they Ofsted, because it's a school, they raid the mosque. They find books for the children about whipping women for adultery, cutting off of hands, all these different things in the school.
Found that in the school of a guy who's part of the Lou Harmony program, the MP. It took him to ask him the question to get him to say it in public, for them to raid the mosque. And guess who comes out of the mosques? This guy's mosque.
Then we have a Khalid Masood commits a terrorist attack. Westminster Bridge. Guess where he was working? Luton Islamic Center.
Lewis Islamic Center. What came out of his mosque? These terrorists.
Guess where the Stockholm bomber went? Luton Islamic Center. So now, all the things, and this is the level of infiltration, yeah? When I was running English Fence League, Luton Mosque challenged bombers' extreme views. These are the headlines that they give as though they were heroes, yeah? Luton Mosque gets money from the Prevent Scheme. The government give every mosque in our country.
Here it is. This guy here, Luton Mosque challenge bombers' extreme views. He's from Kadir's mosque. You see it? The guy who has 3 wives, 14 kids, and living off the benefit system. This guy here. Now watch the genius of the UK government. Listen.
Then the police have education.
Listen.
And they have people going in and educating them on the far right and on Islam. So this gentleman whose job it is to tackle racism turns up after all of this. He turns up to a seminar. Who's educating the police on Islam?
Get out of here.
Jared, after exposing him, and they find all this evidence that he's promoting terrorism, who do the police go to learn Islam from? This man, Kadir. Jared? Even Patrick but David is shocked.
I swear to
Get
God,
out of here.
this is the level they're at.
Doesn't believe it.
No one's even, he's a terrorist supporter. Yeah. When they're going in, he's telling the police what phrases to use, what terms.
What other Muslim leaders and influencers have you confronted and you?
Jared, that's clip number 1. Go watch it. Now, clip number 2. Watch what he says about who he fears. Does he fear for his life that he's going to be killed? I need you to listen.
Have you and Hijab ever done a podcast together?
I'll tell you what Hijab done. Just like
look what Muhammad Hijab did.
Hijab sent letters to my children's home.
Do you see what Muhammad Hijab did? He sent letters to Tommy Robinson's children. He's letting Tommy Robinson know, we know where you live, we know your children. They're trying to scare you. But watch what he's going to say.
Yeah. So he sent legal letters. So what I said Muhammad Hijab is a caveman, because he is. Yeah. His ideologies belong 1400 years ago with his prophet. Now, what he believes is that it's okay, and he says this, yeah, sexual relationship once a child starts puberty, because that's what Muhammad did. Now, it's hard.
Muhammad had sex with her before she had puberty. That's okay.
Hard to have these conversations anyway. No one wants to hear them. Yeah. So I made a video saying about his deranged backward views to try and intimidate me, which is what it was, because that's what they do. He sent letters to my children's home. Just to let me know he knows where my kids are. Legal letters. Yeah. I responded the next day by posting those legal letters straight through his home. Because, as I said, I do my homework. And what they're used to doing is intimidating and installing fear in people and people shutting up. And the problem is, it's not just them. My biggest fear.
What's his biggest fear? Listen.
I don't feel, even the jihadists, my fear ain't to walk down the street and get stabbed. I've sort of accepted that. I've accepted where I stand in that position. When they started arresting people and catching them with guns and bombs, and I had all these threats of Al-Shabaab named me to be killed. When that happened, I sort of, yes, I struggled to deal with it as a young man. Once I accepted it, that's not what I fear. I fear the establishment.
See?
I fear the government. I fear what they're doing now. Exactly. That's my worry. I fear what they're doing right now.
See?
As I said, I've just come out of custody. Do you know when the riots hit off? And this is where they all work together.
He just came out of jail. Man, if you hear his story, you'll be broken.
Basic belief in free speech. I was away, I was in Spain. And then I come back to the UK. I organised a demonstration on Armistice Day. October 7th happens. The Palestinian cause. Jihadists that took over our capital city. They're literally standing on the streets of our capital city calling for jihad. They're literally flying Hamas, Hezbollah flags. See? All of these are crimes. Nothing's being done. We're watching as they're taking over universities, they're taking over capital cities in every Western nation. And probably from the police's point of view, if there's one person that was going to galvanise and mobilise a resistance to that in the streets of the UK, it would be me. I fly back to the UK. They're then talking about Armistice Day, which is the day that we remember our armed forces. We show respect. They were releasing videos and commentary to say that there's going to be no silence. We have a 2-minute silence. There's going to be no silence. I then made a video saying, well, we can't rely on the police to stop them getting to our war memorials. We have no faith in the police preventing them because they literally run away from them. They call for jihad. The police stand there smiling, not just smiling. When they call for jihad, the Met Police put out a statement saying jihad can mean in a struggle.
Did you hear that? The police are being apologists for Islam. And they're saying, no, jihad means internal struggle. See what he's afraid of? He's not afraid of jihadists.
It's like, they're waving terrorist flags. They're calling for Muslim armies. Yeah, they're not about an inner struggle, guys. What clowns have you got operating for the Metropolitan Police? Everything is apologetic from the police force.
There you go. Jared, now, let's go to the third clip. What is he? What is his beliefs? Watch here.
Now, what are you? What do you believe in? Are you a Christian? Are you a Jew? What would you say? Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Yeah, I'm a Christian. Pray he will be sold out for Jesus and truly live the faith and be filled with the Spirit.
You're a Christian.
I'm a Christian, yeah. I've been pushed more. So I used to say that I didn't believe. My mum was a Catholic. And the fall of Britain has come from the fall of belief.
Did you hear it? The fall of Britain has come from the fall of belief. Did you hear it? What he's seeing happening to the government and Islam made him realize God's wrath is on us because we turn our back on the Lord Jesus Christ. This is what happened to Europe. Did you hear it, guys?
And I've also seen the decay in British society. And the fall of Britain has come from the fall of belief. Sure. We have since we've stopped believing it, and what built Great Britain? Christianity. What built everything about us? Everything about
Christianity. What built great Christianity? Everything about us.
About our nation, that everyone wants to come to it and make it a success, was built on Christianity. Since that's descended, since it's been coming under attack, since people have left it, it's left a void. And that void's being filled. And if we want to understand and remember who we are, as part of our identity, I say to some people, if you don't believe in Christianity, you don't have to believe in Jesus. That's what built us.
That's what built us. This guy is a warrior. He's an apologist. This man is holding the banner of the cross of the Lord Jesus Christ. Did you hear what this man just said? He's your brother. Pray for him to be on fire, sold out. Mother is Catholic. That's what built us. Britain became great because of Jesus Christ. Thank Jesus Christ for the Catholic Church. Jesus Christ, Lord Almighty, used the Catholic Church to stop the onslaught of Islam. And had it not been for that Catholic Church, Orthodox, Protestants, all of you would be Muslims and all of your ancestors would have been raped by Muslims. Do you know that? Man, if Jesus doesn't come, this is a powder keg ready to be exploded. There's going to be war. Now watch, guys, what Qatar and Saudi Arabia is doing. How now it's trying to change culture and convert people. Watch, listen.
Qatar spent nearly £750 million in funding Islamic organizations across Europe. Radical jihadist mindset. Qatar are behind it. They've been allowed to buy every port in our country.
Here?
They own half of London.
Did you hear it, guys? UK, you're gone, buddy. Qatar has bought every port in London. They own half of London. You guys, UK is gone. Forget about it, man. London is Islam.
Our politicians have sold their souls to Qatar. Yeah? And Qatar come in. Now, what Qatar used to do, and these countries used to do, they used to fund little charities, Islamic charities, and they'd fund them to be on the streets calling for dawah.
Okay.
Well, that's gone. What is influential now? Influencers. Okay? Sneeko. Yeah. I watched Sneeko convert.
Do you see now how they're converting you? Wake up, Christians. Wake up. It's no longer going out there doing dawah. They're now giving millions to influencers who have a huge platform on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. He mentioned Sneeko. Wake up, Christians. Please, you don't need to ask me. My articles, they're yours. My videos, they're yours. Study the material, master them. Go and be an influencer on TikTok. Go and do clips. Go and share the evidence. Expose Islam. Glorify Christ. Show the evidence for Christianity. Do your part, because now they're financing influencers. Oh, Sneeko's got what? Over 3 million? Hey, Sneeko, become Muslim, we'll give you 5 million. Watch what he's going to say.
To Islam, yeah? I don't know why he's converted to Islam. He's gay. So he's converted to Islam.
Sneeko's gay.
Well, I've watched a video from him saying, well, I wasn't sure if I was gay or not. Yeah. If you're not sure if you're gay or not, Sneeko, you're gay.
I love this guy, man. Watch what he's going to say about masculinity.
Yeah. It's pretty simple. Okay. That's what his words, not mine. So I'm just going by his words. Yeah. But I watch Sneeko, and then he converts to Islam because it's become trendy. Remember, people like us telling the truth about Islam, we were attacked and silenced. And then Islam comes in with all its money and it becomes very trendy. Yeah. And it becomes trendy because all the money's coming and funding it. Now, Sneeko converts and then he goes and makes some video in Saudi Arabia, very well produced video. He's drawing the American youth. You need to wake up in America. Yeah.
Did you hear that, America? You see why God is protecting him from being killed and protecting him from caving in jail? Pray for miraculous protection. He's putting us to shame. He's going to jail, man. May the Lord fill us with the Spirit and give us boldness and miraculous strength that if we have to, we endure like him because they haven't broken him. What are you guys going to do?
The same with Andrew Tate. Okay. These people, in my view, so many of the people, I see these TikTokers now after October 7th. Yeah. I saw a black TikToker in America and she's got the Quran and I've just decided to pick up the Quran and start reading it. I think, oh, cough, how much?
I love this guy. We need to be like this, man. Feminine queer-based Christianity is not biblical. He says someone, an influencer. Off. Oh, man, after my heart. I love him. I pray the Lord Jesus allows me to meet him and I can interview him.
How much you been paid for that? Yeah? So to get the influence with the next generation of youth, do you know how many people converted to Islam when Andrew Tate converted to Islam? Do you know how many come out of prison holding the Quran?
Oh,
do you know all these things? In my view, like this is, in my view, there's Matt, and especially with Sneeko. If you want to pick up the Quran, pick up my Quran. It explains exactly how they're.
By the way, he has a book called My Quran. He shows you the chronology of the Quran and all the violent verses. And I'm going to give you his website. Send him an email. Tell him we love you. We're praying for you. Jesus protect you. And we got your back. Encourage him.
All of these people, the way they now reach the public, as in there are billions of pounds to be spent in order.
Billions of pounds they're spending to these influencers. You think Sneeko's paying for these trips to Saudi Arabia?
In order to convert people to Islam. In my town centre, there's a shop called Discover Islam. Yeah. It's a shop that's funded. Its sole purpose is to convert non-Muslims to Islam.
In the UK, Discover, fully funded by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, to convert people to Islam. Who do we have that's a Christian billionaire that can give me full funding to start something locally here? Maybe start a Christian institute. Buy me a building. Pay it off. Let me teach theology classes locally. And anyone wants to come. I'll teach you. Don't charge you because it's paid off. Who's going to do that?
And that's in every town, city across the UK.
Every town, city across the UK has one. Did you hear it? UK.
There's a mass, and they work with the council. So if America do not wake up to the power and the influence coming in from the money from Saudi Arabia, they're going to convert your youth. And when they convert your youth through the prison system or on the streets, they're going to turn them so quickly and so fast against America and against your own culture and against Christianity and against the Jews. And so the whole Jew hatred thing, it's become fashionable.
So do you see the warning? He saw what it did to the UK. He knows it's too late for the UK. It's over for the UK now.